Welcome to another edition of Beer Bros and BS. I'm Dave, the Big Librarian. Tonight, these guys with me are
Tony,
Dan,
Jose.
As always, we have some great beer tonight. What's the first beer we have?
First, we've got Sierra Nevada's 2015 Oktoberfest.
Yeah, and then I've got Concrete Beach Brewery's Rica Wheat India Pale Ale.
And I got Phantoms Chocolat.
And I brought Chocolate Sombrero by Clown Shoes. So as always, we got some hodgepodge of bullshit and BS for you guys.
Some BS.
Yeah, some BS. I'll go first. Yeah.
Do it. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
So I'll bring you guys another edition of Florida Man. Guy so crazy that can only exist in
One state out of 50.
one state out of 50. Plus territories and properties.
Yes.
So this week on Florida Man draws gun while road raging. He accidentally shot himself.
Was it Plaxico Burrs?
Oh.
I don't know. It's possible. He probably was in Florida.
Did he play for the Giants? Because they seem to injure themselves quite often.
I'm just thinking, like, you're just driving down the road, you know, you're like, oh, fuck you, motherfucker. You know, like when that gun comes out, shit's going down.
Did he shoot himself in the fingers or in the foot?
Yeah, like, where did he kill himself? Or he just wounded?
No, as far as I know. he
Just
did.
his career.
Yeah. Okay. And another Florida man, this is actually a Florida woman this time. Police found 3,700 knives in her house when they went to arrest her. They also found a satanic shrine in her mobile home.
Of course it was a mobile home.
Well, wait, what was she being arrested for?
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with having 37,000
No, they weren't.
knives.
They weren't arresting her for that.
So
I mean, yes, there is. You have a problem, but it's not, a crime to have 37,000.
Actually, according to
how many knives do you have, Jose? Just, for the listeners.
Sushi or regular?
Do you mean like on my body now?
Yeah, I don't have any knives right now.
Actually, it was considered a public nuisance.
To have that many knives, or just that's why?
Yeah, I guess so. But then again, 3,700 in a mobile home.
Hey, where did she keep them all?
And that's, before we continue any further, because I do want to come back to where she tucked those blades.
Huh.
Why don't you tell us about the first beer, Dan?
Tony can describe this one.
Tony can talk about it.
I'll talk about the next one.
Yeah, so first beer tonight is Sierra Nevada's Oktoberfest, which is the first time they've made it this year, 2015. And it's a collaboration with Brauhaus Riegele. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but from Augsburg, Germany.
Augsburg.
Oh, thank you. We always strive for correct pronunciation here on Beer Bros.
Bitte.
So, from the label, Sierra Nevada partnered with one of Germany's oldest breweries, Brauhaus Riegele, to create a true festival beer unlike any other brewed in the USA. Using traditional techniques and ingredients, we're bringing the style back to its authentic roots with a deep golden color, delicate hop note, and rich malt complexity. And
So do you think it follows the Reinheitsgebot?
Doubtful.
well, it should if they're using,
Traditional methods, yeah. I mean, you really have to go out there to kind of break it, though. Because
I mean, the rules, you can only
you just can't use
water,
fruit, water, hops,
barley,
and barley,
that's it.
and that's it. And you have to use
Und yeast.
and regular yeast.
Yeah, und yeast.
I
Specs.
think they
No.
modified it to use any kind of yeast, or because it used to be just like regular yeast.
Well, originally
Yeah.
yeast was
Water,
not
malt,
created when the
hops and
Reinheitsgebot
yeast.
right.
was founded.
Anyway, it's 6% ABV, and I like it. This is very, it's a very true, Oktoberfest style beer, and it's really quality. It's perfect for the style, I think.
Yeah, man, I agree. It's pretty damn good. It's making me reminisce to a couple of years ago when actually you, Dave, and myself took that trip to Germany for Oktoberfest. And, of course, that's the beer that you drink there during the festival.
Unless you're with your two friends and you just can't hang with them and you
Can't
start,
hang with them.
and you can't hang, and you start ordering rattlers, Tony.
If I remember correctly,
And if I remember,
you left the festival early, and Tony and I stayed hanging out.
yeah, because I probably had a acute case of alcohol poisoning.
Probably
From
not
drinking-
probably not an acute case.
Yeah, from drinking 9 liters of beer in what?
That's
what
why
was
I'm
that?
saying it's a marathon,
6 hours?
not a sprint.
But did you leave with the St. Pauli girl?
She's not allowed there, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
no?
No.
No, it's only the Munich breweries.
Yeah, only the big 6.
Yeah.
And St. Pauli's not considered big 6.
But it was actually a really great time, and it does make me think about that, even though this is brewed in America, because it's very true to that style. And
Yeah, the Oktoberfest Marzen style.
yes,
I actually wonder what do they do? Like, did they just
It's
get the brewery and do it at their place, or
I'm not sure. I mean,
like
I
what
would
was the
imagine-
input? What was the input of Sierra Nevada on this?
I think this is brewed at Sierra Nevada.
Oh, brewed at
Yeah.
Sierra Nevada, but they just invited these people. Hey,
Yeah,
help
to
us make
collaborate.
it.
Mm.
Come and bring all of your ingredients, and we'll pay for it, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I figured this was an appropriate one since Oktoberfest actually starts on Saturday.
Oh, Zapft.
Exactly. Oh, Zapft is.
And that's how Oktoberfest actually begins, as the mayor of Munich taps the first keg. That is so awesome.
It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
It's like there's no other city in the world where it's like our mayor, our leader, will start out this 2-week-long party
Drinking fest, yeah.
just by tapping an old style keg.
You actually have to have some skill to do that, because if you do it too hard, you're going to break the tap.
Well, he is
Handle.
German, so he's
Yeah.
probably
They probably vetted him like he's probably
Years.
practicing right now.
Yeah, I think if he messes up, he's not allowed to continue as mayor.
I think they
Yeah,
kill him.
yeah, they kill him. There's no beer. There's no Oktoberfest. It's like a national day of mourning.
It would be.
no.
It would
There's
be horrible.
there's still beer there. The last thing.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of glorious, delicious,
But what if it was- if
liquid gold.
If it was all trapped inside the giant keg and no one could get to it.
People would break it open.
Oh yeah, technology. Have you never seen Ocean's 11 or 12 or 13? It would happen.
I
Matt
haven't,
Damon,
Somebody would bring a
Don
power tool.
Cheadle.
I was gonna say I haven't even
Ben
seen the
Affleck.
first 10 Oceans. So
Somebody would bring a power tool and just drill a hole open.
Yeah,
you guys are fucking geniuses.
and they're in Germany. You don't think there's any superior technology that they have there? Some German craftsmanship? You think their barrels would break? I don't think so.
Mm.
Das Auto, yeah. So back to
Okay, so Florida man.
back to Florida woman
Florida-
tucking blades and whatnot. I don't know. Hey, maybe she has a James Bond style house, mobile home where, she hits the wall and it flips over and reveals, a display of cutlery.
I was thinking maybe she had a kangaroo pouch. She was just
So she carried all 3,700 on her.
on her person at all times.
Well, I mean, if it's a Florida woman in a trailer, odds are she had enough space on her body to do so.
She hides them in the folds.
Exactly.
But my question is how much room is there actually if there was also a satanic shrine?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Well, it could just have been a rug of just a rug.
Yeah, maybe she was
That's
just
a funny word to use when we're describing a woman.
maybe she was just listening to the new Slayer album. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it is Florida, so they might take things over. Oh, she has Slayer. She's a Satanist. No, that's just my cutlery. I love kitchen cooking.
What?
Marilyn Manson is from here.
Oh,
Could be.
Then there was a Florida man that got caught after he was on a scooter chase. Police were chasing him, and he actually made the list twice this week. The reason he was fleeing cops on his scooter was he was wanted for sniffing feet in a public university down here. So he ran into the library, got on his stomach, crawled under the tables, and started going to women's feet. And they caught him on camera, and they found him maybe a mile away a couple of days later on a scooter, and he tried to outrun cops. And he got caught.
That
So-
stinks.
I have to say, when I heard this story, my first thought was, this is pretty tame for Florida man.
Well, he was pretty old.
Yeah, he was older.
Mm.
Then Florida
That
man.
doesn't make it okay, though.
Well, on a good side, this is not how bad Florida man. This is good for Florida man. He won a $10 million lottery from lucky numbers from a fortune cookie.
That's amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I'm kind of happy for this Florida man.
What did the fortune
We'll
say?
listen to next week on what ridiculous things he's going to do with that millions and millions of dollars.
Well, what would you do with $10 million, Jose? We'll come back to you. Dan,
Yeah.
what would you do with $10 million?
Probably travel around the world. I don't know.
With who?
Everybody.
Well played. Well played, sir. What about you, Tony?
Definitely travel. I would travel. I would drink all the beers that I could.
I'd probably open up my own business. Like, probably open up my own brewery.
Oh,
or try to.
Stop with your...
No, try.
Practical.
Well,
I'd use my $10 million to put you out of business, Jose, and whatever I have left, I'd waste it. I would just waste it. Play God. Wipe off a species.
that's okay. That would be pretty fun to watch, too.
What species shall I destroy today? Oh, there's a tree? Paper. Paper mill it is.
You should destroy ants and cockroaches.
Yes, cockroaches.
Cockroaches, definitely.
And cockroaches.
Termites, maybe.
Because they're always on time.
Exactly. They're always arriving when you don't want them to.
Cockroaches.
I see what you did there.
La cucaracha.
And that's all that we all know. That's all that anyone knows of that song. I don't
Ya
think there
no
are any more
puede
lyrics.
caminar.
Show off.
That was la cucaracha, la 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 la.
I think that's what it was.
Okay.
And then everyone just changes the lyrics to suit them.
Stop making up lyrics for the song.
Why the fuck is there a song about a cockroach anyway?
In Spanish.
Because the word is fun to say.
Yeah, I guess it is funny to say cock. Oh, cucaracha. I mean,
You love to say the word.
You know what word is fun to say in Spanish? Narcotraficantes.
that's pretty good.
I've been watching Narcos on Netflix.
I figured you were going
What
to
about
say,
if you're a nalga traficante?
That's even better.
in Miami, definitely. I figured you would go with the word for meatball.
With the classic, right? Albondigas! Oof!
That just has some balls to it. Do you
Kimbo-
see what I mean there? Like meatball? Okay.
Kimbombo.
And tuétano!
So, continuing back to Florida, man. One of my, these two, I don't know which one is my favorite of the week. I'll tell you the first one. We can't show you the video, but we could probably tweet out a link of it. Florida man films his own car crash with a selfie stick. I don't know if you guys seen that one.
That's amazing.
They were off-roading.
Wow.
And he was following his friend in a pickup truck, and the pickup truck had a canoe strapped to it. So he's looking at the selfie, whatever camera he has on a selfie stick, and he ends up, the truck breaks, and he doesn't see the brake, and so the canoe, bashes in the front of his car, misses his head by like an inch and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, lucky Jesus.
That's pretty lucky for Florida man again.
He lives to have more wacky adventures another day.
So, this is probably my favorite one of the week. Florida man texts narcotics officer for drugs. And it's kind of a funny,
Yo, you got an 8-ball?
they asked him, it's like, it's a solid connect. You looking for a ball? He's like, yeah, man, hook a brother up. Like, okay, I got you, bro. They're all bagged up in 6 bags. Cool. I just gotta swing through my boy's house. It's not stomped either. And the fact that he sounds so interested to sell him drugs should set him off. Maybe not. But obviously, Florida man's been arrested again.
Dun, dun, dun.
But have faith, because this is Florida and he'll probably get out. And he might have another adventure in a week or two, so stay tuned.
Probably score more drugs in the pen anyways.
It is Florida.
So I really want to know what the fortune was for the guy that won the lottery with the fortune cookie ticket.
Well, I don't think the fortune was the numbers. At the bottom is just like your lucky numbers.
Yeah, but it always has a fortune.
No, it doesn't list the fortune here. But we can find that out. We can do some research for you.
I wonder how much you tipped. If you like went back and gave them some money.
I doubt he did that, but
Yeah.
would you do that, Dan?
And what restaurant
probably
was
not.
this?
I believe it was probably a Chinese restaurant in Florida.
So
I
it
know,
was probably
but-
just called Chinese restaurant.
Canton number 23.
Yeah.
Well, there's one of my favorite Chinese restaurants in Miami is the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. And there's one by me called Takey Outie.
Oh yeah, Takeout's
Yeah.
solid.
It's pretty decent, man. It's cheap and you get a shitload of food.
Yeah, but the Chinese restaurant has been there for probably since the late '80s, in the same place. It never has been featured on the news.
It's like it's a dynasty or something.
Yeah,
Which one is the one off Tropical Park? It's
Tropical.
oh, okay.
I think he was joking there. I don't know if that's really the name.
Yeah, it is Tropical Chinese.
Oh, okay.
So we're on our second beer of the night.
Yeah, that's right. The second beer is one that I brought. It's from Concrete Beach Brewery from right here in Miami. And it's the Rika Wheat IPA.
Are you sure it's not pronounced Rika?
I'm pretty sure since it's from Miami, but who knows?
I
Like
get
the
it.
Rickenbacker?
I would think it's supposed to be like, Gerika or whatever, But, whatever. So it's out of Wynwood, basically a new, up and coming, beer scene here in Miami. Tons of breweries within like a, 4-block radius, basically. And, it's a decent looking beer. Comes out kind of golden, not
A little
too
cloudy.
different.
A little cloudy with a white head.
Yeah, it's got the wheat in there, so it comes out a little like that. But I don't know, man. It's not horrible. It has a nice smell to it. You get like a floral, citrusy kind of scent.
Yeah, you definitely get the citrusy, hop forward. But it's more of an IPA than I don't really get the wheat. I get more of the IPA
Yeah.
on it.
It is
I
definitely-
don't, I don't get why.
The floral is definitely from the hops. It's the
very,
citrus
very-
hops, not so much piney hops.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's good,
So,
man. It's
it's
kinda
good, but
sweet.
it's just that I don't get why they would even mark it out. Oh, it's a wheat IPA. I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know.
we understand, but I don't really get the point
The
between this and
wheat-
another IPA.
The wheat characters of it are not too pronounced.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, it's because the hops absolutely mute the wheat.
Yeah,
so.
but it's not bad, dude.
No, I
It's-
like it, and
it's
I
kinda
love the
sweet.
fact that Wynwood is becoming this big mecca of just craft
Yeah, I mean,
breweries
we've got
everywhere.
Concrete Beach, obviously Wynwood Brewery, J. Wakefield. I mean, there's just so much going on over there.
All three of them.
No, but there's a couple more.
No, but
coming
the
up,
other
right?
ones are distributors.
Biscayne Bay
They're more
is over there.
That's Doral.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, not too far away.
But
yeah,
they
we've got,
have other restaurants that serve out all these
yeah,
other
there's
beers
some
Kush,
gastropubs.
Kush and Box Elder is there too.
All five.
Yeah, no, the butcher shop.
There's that taco place that also has
6.5.
6.
If you don't remember the name, it only counts as a half.
So it would be 5.5.
Well, the fact that all this shit is there in a little 4-block kind of radius is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of just like Beer Street.
Yeah, I mean, and if you don't like that, just go to Gramps and get yourself an old fashioned done the right way.
I've never had an old fashioned there.
You should try it, man. It's not
I've
bad.
only had PBR there.
Well, that is what a lot of people there drink, as it is kind of a
Actually-
hipster bar.
I actually didn't know they served anything else other than PBR. This is all news to me now.
No,
And I'm being serious. I'm not,
They actually have
I'm
a
not just
really
being my
good.
normal dick. I'm just being.
No, they serve Pappy Van Winkle and shit over there.
Yeah. Wouldn't you expect a place called Gramps to serve old fashions?
No,
I see what you did there.
I would not.
Do you get a senior discount?
I think so. If you're a Gramp.
So, Jose, what topic do you bring for us this week?
So the topic that I brought to us is finally the NFL season has started, and I'm excited about that. It's just that there's one thing that has stuck out to me during this first week of play is that so many players have been injured this week, and I wanted to talk about what you guys think about the NFL banning head-to-head collisions, being so into head-to-head collisions, and not worrying exactly about players' knees, because there's so many players right now that are getting their knees injured because defensive players are going down below, or offensive tackles are also chop blocking.
So let me ask you, you don't like NFL players going down?
No, I don't.
What's your feelings on going down in general?
They should bring back the spear, like the good old spear.
I don't think you addressed this question. How do you... Tony asked, can you say it again, Tony?
Yeah, like what are your thoughts on going down just in general?
In general, it's okay, but not in football.
You heard it here first.
I like that.
So, Jose is okay with going down.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man.
I love licking the kitty.
Fuck.
Yes.
Another Beer Bros BS original first. You heard it here.
Dude, that's it. That's gonna be his soundbite in the future when we all have a clip to to describe each one of us.
So I'm Dave, the Big Librarian. Thanks for coming out tonight.
I'm Jose. I love licking the kitty. That's good, dude. That's it. That's your fucking line. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
It's amazing.
Awkward silence and continue.
Anyway, what were you saying about the NFL?
Oh, we were talking about football. That's right.
Yeah, so people are not, it's not that they're getting scraped knees, it's that they're blowing out their knees. So, no, it's kind
Blowing?
Do you like to blow knees too? How do you blow a knee?
Yeah, I think they're doing it wrong.
No wonder I don't get tipped.
I feel like I haven't understood football this entire time.
This is only beer number 2, everybody.
I mean, I guess personally, from a playing standpoint, you always got to worry about your health and your future. They say the average career of an NFL player is 3 seasons. So that's not very long.
It seems pretty short.
Yeah, and let's say you make the minimum contract, which is $400,000. You might make $1.2 million, but that's not enough to live the rest of your life. Essentially be retired at the age of, 24, 25. To live the rest of your life, that's coming out to like $10,000 a year if you never worked again. And at that point, there's certain things you can do. You can coach, and you have that experience. But there's another thing where I know, like, I have friends that have played, and like Dan knows them. Like, at the time we were hanging out with our friend, my friend Chris, and we're all hanging out, and he's like, "Hey guys, I have to go to my car and bring out a mat." And we just kind of look at each other, and he brings this mat in, and he puts it down in the middle of my living room, and he had to lay on that mat for like 15 minutes a day, or else his back just goes out the next day.
Yeah, man, he was fucked up.
And that was, the age of 27, maybe 26.
Yeah, they even addressed that same situation in the show Ballers. There was that one dude who I can't remember his name, but he was going to sell cars and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm a couple episodes back. So.
Well, no, the big dude that he was starting to sell cars and shit.
Yeah, what's his name from? He was in 8 Mile.
Yeah, I think so. But anyways, it was the same kind of thing. Like, he got out of the game, and then he was broke. So it's, addressing the same situation you're talking about.
Yeah, so I understand them wanting to protect the players and the players wanting to protect themselves because, that's one of the questions they ask them.
By protecting their helmet to helmet contact, you're now generating.
Well, you're forcing them to go
down.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, but it depends on. I mean, chop block has never been allowed. That's been legal for years. You can't hit somebody up and then hit them, and have someone else hit them, below the waist. That's always been a no. And from coaching, from playing, that you always coached, you don't do that when someone's engaged. You don't hit them, if you're gonna hit them, you be like a pinball. You hit them up top. You don't go down low on them because, to an extent, you're against them this week, but the day after that, you're all in the same boat, and you could be on the same team in the future. You could very well have played against them in high school, college, another pro team. So I totally understand them wanting to protect the players and the players wanting to protect themselves. Having, seeing especially all, NFL players, like most noticeably Junior Seau, shooting himself because of the issues he's had from those kind of collisions. I understand like why you'd be so scared of that when you see somebody that you looked up to, lose it so much from those concussions. I totally understand that.
No, I understand the straight helmet to helmet. It's just that they take it to such a point where any minor collision to helmet is just automatically flagged.
But do you know how quickly you can get a concussion? And they don't know how many concussions you can get before you have that permanent brain damage, that traumatic brain injury, TBI or whatever they called it.
Yeah,
and I've had I've had a couple, and I remember having normally as an offensive lineman you don't do helmet to helmet. Just it's not good technique, and still you hit your head, and I remember I didn't notice it, but my family all noticed my forehead was black and blue. Black and that's just from practicing and and going through the steps, and if that's what my skin looks like, imagine my brain. Maybe that explains a lot of what goes up in here.
I was going to say, Dave, we've known your brain's been a little off for quite a while now. It's not a surprise.
Well, imagine, here's my thing. I guess you could say I'm a smart guy based on what I do for a living, and, I generally read a lot and whatnot. Imagine how smart I'd be if I didn't lose all those brains.
Oh, man.
But whatever happened to tackling, just good tackling, wrap up the body and just take them down?
Well, that's still good tackling. That still is good tackling. It's just when they teach you the basics, you wrap up the body with your arms and you drive down with your shoulders. The helmet to helmet has always been looked down upon.
No, and I agree. There's some people that obviously aim for helmet to helmet. I know Brandon Merriweather has been actually called out for this because he blatantly goes in with his head, and that's a big no-no. But I think we're going off to a tangent here with this.
What do you guys think?
I was going to say, you definitely need to protect the heads of players, right? You definitely want to avoid concussions. As far as so tackling, somebody by their legs or whatever, isn't that part of the game? Injuries are going to happen.
But the thing is that technically you should protect the legs just as well. Because you can easily blow out a leg.
You can blow out a leg
to that extent. Don't play football then.
But you're not going to kill yourself because you blow out your knee. You may kill yourself because you get depressed from repeated concussions for every week for 13 seasons.
No, but I'm not saying not protect the head. I'm just saying protect the legs too.
But could you live without a knee? If you had a bad knee the rest of your life, could you live with that? Could you live with a bad brain? Odds are you could probably live without a knee before you could live without a brain.
Well, Dan's been living with a bad brain, his entire life.
Ah, man. Come on, son.
Dan loves that bad brain.
Yeah, buddy,
Technicality.
Continuing with the deficiency of this show. Yeah, man, I agree. I think that they should obviously protect everywhere, but there's only so much you could really do to the legs. Are they going to wear braces and shit when they run around? I don't know.
They already do.
They do. There's not so much else that you could really add to it. They already have all the pads that you could fucking imagine.
Well, I don't know how it is, what's required in the NFL, but I know that in high school you have to wear the pads, and I want to say, I'm not really positive, but I think you're kind of at an option of what pads you wear in your legs. Because you have hip pads, you have a pad for your tailbone, You know, you could wear a cup. That's optional. You could wear pads for your quads.
Yeah, like your thighs.
Your thigh. Oh, you have your hip. You have your thigh. You have one for your, you know. There's all kind of pads, and
Quads,
your quads. It just depends on what you want to wear. And I think you're required to in high school and maybe parts of college. I think in the NFL it's kind of what you want to wear. You have to wear your helmet. You have to wear your shoulder pads. But you have like, you know, for your shoulder pad, you have a neck roll, which is optional. Do you want to wear it? It's totally up to you. So, you know, all that matters. And with that sound, we're actually pouring our third beer of the night. This one was brought to us by Jose.
Okay,
Tell us a little bit more.
so this is the Phantom, the Chocolat. This is a Saison style beer
You mean
from
chocolate?
Belgium.
You mean chocolate?
Cacao.
Cacao.
Oh, that was a
Boosh.
callback to one of our earlier episodes. Everybody.
Cacao powder and chili pepper.
It always sounds like cacao is like a 70s ninja, like a cacao, motherfucker.
Cacao.
I don't know. I think of Method Man.
Cacao.
Like Takao.
Cacao.
See, I always think of Frisky Dingo.
What is this?
I don't know what that is.
That was like,
Sounds like what you did in Peru.
yeah.
No, that was the Waka Alpaca.
Isn't that a DJ? Yo, this is DJ Waka Alpaca on the 1s and 2s.
Waka Flacka Alpaca. No, Frisky Dingo was a cartoon on Adult Swim by the guys who make Archer now. And they had a, not to go into the show, but like one of the, it was about, okay, fine. So it was like a superhero, and he had like his little like henchmen called the Xticles. And
So it sounds like Minions.
pretty much. And like whenever they would say something cool or whatever that they were excited about, they'd be like, boosh and cacao.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah.
And it's not on anymore, you say?
No, it only had 2 seasons, but now those folks are doing Archer,
Nice.
which is a great show on FX, if you don't know.
Never heard of it.
Never heard watch it. Man.
Yes, you'd have.
You're going to make me watch it? Is that what you want me to do?
Yes.
Maybe. So, what do you think about the beer, Jose?
Okay, so they usually do farmhouse ales. So it'd be pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting how they did this one, because usually when you have chocolate or spicy, you usually think like sweetness, but instead they're trying to get more of the herbal flavor of chocolate.
Yeah, I would not say this is bitter, because chocolate can be bitter, but this is tart.
Yeah, this is more tart than
You said
so
this is
they're
a
getting
saison?
that tarty flavor, and I guess they had to add like a little bit of pepper.
It pours
it.
out. It pours out. You know, very cloudy amber.
Yeah, it's cloudy amber. So
Little to no head, no carbonation.
So when you think about like chocolate, you're usually thinking like, oh, look, it's going to be a stout, and
The next
but
beer.
the next beer is going to be a stout, and it's like usually how they do chocolate beers. It's like a stout. It's a little bit sweeter. They have
I almost get like grapefruit from this.
Well, that's the saison kind of style coming through. But I do think it's really, really cool how they're able to do a legit Belgian saison, but with chili and cocoa, cacao, whatever the fuck. You know, I don't really get too much of those flavors in here. To me, I just taste
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
really just
basic saison.
Almost like a sour farmhouse.
Yeah, but it's pretty damn good.
A little bit of like straw.
Well, that's
like
the
a-
saison flavor. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, which is it? Is it grapefruit or straw?
it's both.
What kind of God would allow that?
Belgian one.
Okay.
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you that there's chocolate in this, but since it says
Yeah.
there's, you can kind of like, if you're looking for it, you get like a little bit of like dark chocolate, like just a hint.
maybe
I
on the
don't-
nose a hint, but that's about
I
it.
didn't on the nose, on the aroma. I didn't get any chocolate.
No, me neither,
and,
man.
and the taste, I didn't have any chocolate at
You
all.
do get a little bit of the chili. A
The chili, I
Yeah.
do get, but no chocolate.
Yeah,
I
well,
enjoy it, man. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like, the beer is pretty tasty, but it's just not what... It doesn't taste like what it says it tastes like, you know?
Well, you don't taste a little chili.
maybe
No.
it's the power of suggestion, you know. Oh, we added chocolate to this, by the way. No, we didn't.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if that was
But
what
is
happened.
Belgium like known for chocolate?
Yeah, dude.
Or is it Germany? Not the start
Belgian
of
chocolate. Is,
Belgian
That's the
versus
thing?
chocolate.
That's the thing.
Yeah, Belgium.
That's a legit thing.
Yeah, dude. Belgian chocolate is like super famous.
Aren't they, like, known for their waffles?
Yeah,
Yeah, but Belgian chocolate is like renowned.
renowned where in Belgium?
No, around the world, man.
Because like it's funny. It's like Mr. Worldwide is Mr. Worldwide, but but in Miami,
Dude, Pitbull is huge in Europe. He really is.
Pit Bulls.
I'm gonna have to stop you guys right there. We will not discuss Pitbull on this podcast.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Why not?
He is legit.
He was nice. He was nice to Dan and I.
Fuck him.
Dude, I don't have a problem with Armando
Okay.
Perez.
Hey. He's a Miami boy.
But,
I don't care.
the pride of Coral Park.
Was it in Miami High?
No, Coral Park
Coral Park?
and Southbridge.
But I'm just saying, like, he is actually super fucking famous in Europe, too, so.
Calmate,
But-
Tony. Calmate.
Moving on,
We don't want to, him,
Dale.
Tony to
Dale,
burst a blood,
let's go, Dale.
burst a blood vessel.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, shut up. Shut up.
Tony's
I
head.
hate you all.
Tony's head
He's
is so
gonna
red.
hear so much of this coming up in the next week. It's not even gonna
Tony's
be fun.
head is so red right now.
Okay, so Dan, what'd you bring for us this week?
No para la fiesta. I brought
As Tony breaks his glass and slices Dan.
actually, I
Repeatedly.
brought some pretty crazy news that came out in on the wire yesterday.
The AP wire,
Yes, among others.
not the HBO wire.
No, man, I believe that has since been canceled. But apparently,
They're re-releasing it.
Budweiser and Miller are
Miller Lite?
discussing a merger. So these are to be more specific, Anheuser-Busch InBev is in talks to actually outright buy Sab Miller, and that would create the absolute biggest beer company on earth. And it would basically be at least a third of the entire market of beer in the world. And I mean, I think that, okay, business wise, if they could get away with it, why not? But I think that they'll have a hard time actually being able to get away with it due to like, antitrust issues and like possible monopolies happening.
Yeah, that's the first thing I heard when I heard about this story.
Yeah. So I
So
mean,
do you
I
think
mean,
the same
who else
thing?
would be out? Like maybe Sam Adams would be out.
well, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, right? Is
It's their only clear opponent would be Sam Adams at the
I mean, Sam Adams
100
is, like,
zipper
much
I
microbreweries
mean,
smaller.
around.
though I would think it would be Heineken would be like the next closest.
They're not part of Sab Miller.
Are they? I'm not
No,
sure.
No.
I don't think they are.
And also, the company that makes like Corona and all the Mexican beers.
Yeah, that would be but I think Heineken is way bigger
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, Heineken is
It's
its
its
own.
own-
It's not.
It's Heineken and Beck's and all that shit and Amstel,
Specs.
right? Isn't that all the same?
I don't think Heineken and Beck's are the same.
No, but Heineken and like
And-
Amstel.
Yeah, Heineken owns Amstel.
Okay, but anyway, so right, I mean, I think that would be a smart business move for them to do if they can, obviously, but I don't see it happening. I don't see them getting away with it because already AB InBev has 39.9% of the global profit pool of beer sales, and Sab Miller has 17.9% of the global profit pool, which basically means out of all the beer that's sold worldwide, that's how much belongs to them, basically. So it's pretty massive, and it would be, if they do it, it would be a group.
And the other, just so you know, the other percentage of the revenue comes from NFL games.
You know what? I'm not surprised. I
That's where all the money comes from. because you get a beer for $13.
Well, a lot of that goes back to the stadium too.
Well, I'm just joking because it's so expensive.
It is.
Continue on.
Yeah, but if they do get away with this merger, that new group would have a value of about $275 billion, which is fucking insane.
Look at all the monies I'm brewing.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think that would do to what do you guys think that would do to craft beer? Do you think it would hurt it or help it?
Well, is that I don't get it because Budweiser, I remember, well, at least from what I got from the Super Bowl commercials, they're like snubbing on craft beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then Miller Lite was like, oh, look, all beer is craft. So I'm not sure how that merger would work out because they seem to be having.
Well, it would be Budweiser buying Miller, so
okay.
basically that's what would happen.
But wait, who owns Shock Top? Was it Miller or
Bud?
Or Bud, right?
Or no,
like
yeah,
or the
Bud
group,
owns.
like not
Bud
owns,
has-
but like they put
No,
money. towards
Anheuser-Busch
Yeah.
has Shock Top,
has Shock
as
Top.
well as Goose Island now, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I guess you can consider those craft beers, and they're pretty good. And I guess they don't have their hands so in, like, where they just let them do their own thing.
well, they let them keep being craft, and they just collect the revenue from that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's like the parent company.
So that may be the future of craft beer, like in the future, like where you just have, when you open your own craft beer brewery, you have a parent company, be it Miller,
actually,
Bud, or...
And you just sell out.
well, I mean, Concrete Beach aren't they like partly
With
owned
Sam
by
Adams?
Samuel Adams?
It's the gentleman who did Magic Hat when he left Magic Hat. He worked with some people from Sam Adams, and they did what was the other one they did? The traveling.
The Traveler Shandies or whatever.
Yeah, the
Traveler Beer Company.
Yeah.
Traveler Beer Company, which I love that apple one.
Yeah.
I have to say I love that.
Oh,
It
they
sounds
make some,
so weird to
that-
hear me
that
say I
stuff's
love
tasty,
an apple
man.
shandy. Lemon shandy I'm not crazy about, but that apple shandy is legit.
I'm
On
going to have
draft.
to try it then.
On draft. It has a totally different taste in bottled, but on draft it is pretty good. It's more akin to almost a cider, I'd say.
Oh, if I see it, I'm going to have to try it then.
Yeah, man, that sounds interesting. I'll have to check that out at some point.
No, but I don't
Tony's
think,
like, no way.
but I don't
I
think
would try
like
it,
just
sure.
because you have like a parent company, you're exactly selling out because you still need to get funded, like to get to
I don't,
the
think,
initial.
I don't
post.
think it's selling out, man. I
But
think
as long as the like parent company lets you do whatever you want, like
I draw that selling out line at the point when you lose like the creative control of it. But if you're just, taking money and then giving some back, but you're still making what you want, then I don't really think it's a total sellout. I mean, that's business, dude, and that's how it works.
Yeah. As long as, it's really still about the quality of beer for me. Like, for instance, Goose Islands, Anheuser-Busch owns them, but they still make amazing beers like the Bourbon County Stouts, and their sours are superb.
Goose Island in general has some really good stuff, yeah.
Yes, and I think that's what was important to them when they, sold whatever percentage to Anheuser-Busch, is that they could still continue to do that, and that their brewers could still work on, doing that stuff, which is what they like. And as long as it's that kind of thing where they can still put out quality products, then I don't care who the parent company is, I don't care who owns them. Same thing like Boulevard, they make great beer, and they're like owned now by Duvel.
I really didn't know that.
Yeah. Which is another huge Belgian beer conglomerate. But like now Boulevard is distributed in way more places because they could take advantage of that distribution network, and they're still making really good beer. So
Yeah, I mean, it
that stuff I'm
seems
fine
like a
with.
win-win for them, actually. Yeah, that's cool, man. I didn't know.
So as far as, Anheuser-Busch, potentially buying Miller, I don't think that makes much of a difference for craft beer drinkers, honestly, because, craft beer drinkers are not drinking Bud or Miller. It's just
Maybe sometimes.
if they just want something cheap to just pound. But, more often you want something, that's tastier if you're going for, like, craft beer. I just think it's, it's too much like a trust, and it's, too much market share in one place, and that's why, I don't think that would fly in the U.S., like you said, the potential purchase. I don't know what it's like as far as, worldwide trusts, if that would go through. But I guess we'll see.
So, what topic did you bring, Tony?
So I brought a very kind of heartwarming story, I think, and you guys may be surprised to hear it come from me, but this is a story that came out a few days ago, which was about an Air Canada pilot who diverted an international flight from Tel Aviv to Toronto because the heating system malfunctioned in the plane's cargo area, and the pilot knew that there was a 7-year-old French Bulldog in the cargo hold. And because the heating system wasn't working, if he had continued to fly over the Atlantic Ocean, the temperatures would have plummeted, and the dog probably would have died. So he diverted the flight to land in Frankfurt at about a cost of $10,000 to the airline and delaying the flight by 75 minutes. But, they saved the dog's life doing that. And because it was a French Bulldog, which are my favorite dogs, I was really happy to see this story.
Did he get fired?
I heard it was euthanized in Frankfurt because it didn't have an owner.
Who, the pilot?
Did the dog's owner have to pay that $10,000?
No.
I mean, I guess they shouldn't really if it was the plane's problem and not theirs, right?
Right.
But did the airline fire the pilot?
No. They actually said the pilot made the right call.
Oh, of course they would.
And of course,
I'm sure it was a rough choice.
and of course, the dog's owner was very grateful for that. After they were reunited, so I'm not a dog hater, you guys. Just wanted to.
Sourpuss is not a dog hater.
That sounds rough.
I made that joke already.
You literally just made that joke.
I'm sorry. I'm a copycat.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
I'm a copycat.
I see what you did there.
Well, that brings us.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that French Bulldogs are the best dogs.
Why?
Because look at their little faces looking.
Oh my god, dude, you just sounded like so different, dude.
Where is Sourpuss? I don't know who this is.
Look at this little put.
Next episode, Sourpuss gets a dog.
If I were ever to get a dog, that's what I would get as a French Bulldog.
I'm going to get you a dog now. I'm going to rescue a
if I ever get
French
a dog,
Bulldog
it's going to be a Maine Coon.
Hey, that's racist. Sorry, man. It's a reflex.
So PC, Dan.
Jesus.
So that brings us to our fourth beer of the night, which is brought to you by yours truly. It's Chocolate Sombrero by Clown Shoes. It's an Imperial Stout coming at 9% ABV. I love their beers, personally. This one is Chocolate Sombrero, so it's a chocolate beer with a little bit of pepper in it, jalapenos. What do you guys think?
Dude, that's really good. I like it a lot.
What about you, Jose?
I like it. It's very smoky.
Yeah, tasty. It's
very, very chocolatey.
Yeah, and you definitely get the chilies in it.
Yeah, but that chocolate flavor just lingers on the tongue for a while, I like it, man.
Yeah, and Clown Shoes is one of those breweries that I really think they can do no wrong. My brother put me onto this beer last year, and I was like, oh my god, he saved it for me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get this, back at home. And as soon as I want some Total Wine here, they had it. And I was like, let me get 3 bottles of it. It's so good. I've never had anyone drink this beer and not like it. And of course, Clown Shoes, it has a great fucking beer label.
Yeah, their artwork is always phenomenal. I've seen a couple that reference like Lucha Libre. They have I forget the name of it, but it's like
Chocolate Sombrero.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the one that has.
No, but there's another one that has a wrestler on it too. I can't remember, but of course,
They're from Massachusetts, no?
One. Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually Mercury Brewing Company in Ipswich, Massachusetts. That's where.
Well, I think it's like their name, like
Yeah,
their
that's
official
like-
name, but Clown Shoes.
Yeah,
is-
Clown Shoes is this
brand.
This brand, yeah.
I just find it weird when breweries do that. Like, why don't you just use the brand name of your brewery? You named both of them.
Like Budweiser.
Well, they do
App
that.
and Bev.
Well, they do that. They do that a lot
They
in
have
Germany.
Busch beer.
I know. A lot of their, it's like a company name, and then they has like a DBA, like they're doing business as, so it'd be like so and so corporation, but they're,
Well, I mean,
Augustine would be a.
Goose Island does Goose Island beers, and then Bourbon County has, the stout, the barley wine, all that other shit, the different types of stouts.
but it still says Goose Island.
I mean, yeah, I guess
Yeah, you
it's
could
just
call it,
like the
whatever.
series of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
It's like when you charge on a strip club, like on your card, it shows up as a different thing. Not that I would know anything about this.
of course not.
That's exactly what it would be like. And then again, I don't know anything about this either.
That's why you're supposed to bring cash.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring a credit card to a strip club. I don't trust them. I think they would steal the number and do some devious shit with it.
Bad experience?
No comment.
No, you cannot swipe it on their butt.
Yeah, I found out the hard way.
Okay, Quagmire.
Life goals. One day.
One day,
So, let me ask you guys, what burns your bacon? Dan, what burns your bacon?
Well, originally I was going to say a certain thing, and you told me that you were going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, I'm kind of not sure what
You
to
wanna come
say.
back? You wanna come back to
to me, man.
Jose, what burns your bacon?
I swear to God, if it rains one more time, I'm probably gonna lose my shit.
It's probably going to rain at least.
No. During a football game.
I hope it does. Oh,
During a football game.
It's Miami, man. It rains a lot.
I
here.
know, but why? Why
You
do
should
we have to
explain why this is.
So it's so frustrating because now we have, and I understand, because we don't want anybody to get struck by lightning, but it seems a little bit excessive because it almost seems like they look out 4 kilometers out to see if there's any lightning strikes, and then you have to go into shelter for an hour, delays the game for an hour, and I've already been to 2 games straight where they have delayed the game.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
What team were you going to go see?
the Hurricanes. I know, kind of ironic, but
Yeah.
sweet
true.
irony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the University of Miami Hurricanes cannot play during a storm.
What's their mascot, though? Is it just like a
It's not a
It's a
duck.
hurricane.
It's
Not a
not a
hurricane?
duck. It's
Wait.
an ibis.
Wait, so why aren't they the University of Miami Ibises?
Ibisai?
I don't know.
I'm looking at the UM alum here.
So
What is the plural of
I
ibises?
think it's Ibises.
It is ibis.
ibises.
It's not ibisai?
No,
Ibises.
no, ibises
Ibises?
Maybe. Ibis.
or ibises. But no, they're the ibises because they're the last one to leave during this hurricane and the first one to come back during a hurricane, after a hurricane.
Or you could just be like a Seminole and not move at all.
No, that's true, but
Or a gator.
But nobody wants to be either.
Or a
nobody wants to
panther.
be a lizard.
Or a panther.
But we
or
still
a bull or a knight.
But we have many associates that are lizards too, so we love them all. As long as you're in Florida. We love Florida. But, no, it's rained a lot and it seems excessive. Even LSU had to, cancel their games, their first game, and there's been, a lot of frustration because of that, because you have to reschedule, especially if you have a opponent that's coming to your home game, you have to refinance their trip back, and I mean, it's very frustrating.
Well, they make so much
for-
money, they don't really care.
Well, but we don't. But so that's why when they're like, "Oh, let's delay it for another hour," they just delay it for another hour, and before you know it, it's already midnight before you end up leaving the stadium. So it's
And that's past your bedtime.
yeah, it's way past my bedtime. Well, no, it's past the time. Well, actually, it's past my bedtime, but it's also that time where you can get in free for Tootsies, so it's half and half.
He's
so.
just going to plug every strip club till he gets free shit at one of them.
Tootsies. You heard it here. Tootsie's, our favorite gentleman's club.
Beer Bros and BS.
Pay us,
Sponsored by.
pay us, pay us.
We would love to be.
Knockers, dude.
If
Let's
anybody
do
is
one on
listening
Knockers.
from Tootsie's, we love you guys. And let's talk.
Let's make you the official strip club of Beer Bros.
Gentlemen's
Yes.
establishment.
You're right. You're right. I take that back. That is not what I should have said. We can make Cheetah the official strip club.
And there they go. Okay, so, what burns my bacon this week, I was talking about it with Dan, is the new update for the iPhones, iOS 9. I have, technically the latest phone that's come out, and it runs terribly on my phone. As you were all witnessed earlier, where it flips my screen sideways and then puts it back, and then it's not sure. It's like, which way, how is it, landscape portrait, tell me which way, I don't know, oh my god, And then they, when you try and close your, all your apps running at the same time, save some battery. It used to be, one way, your home screen was on the left and everything that ran went right. That's how,
Yeah, that's what we're used to.
in this hemisphere, you go left to right.
Yeah, that's
the way we're taught to
what
read.
we're used to. Exactly.
Now it's right to left and everything's upside down and backwards. And
it's completely fucking back asswards, man. I hate it.
Yeah, as a programming standpoint, like, I don't understand why they would change around the user design.
think different.
Like, yeah, well, no.
Think different.
No, but, like, they have one user design and
Biggest thing since last year. Think different.
No, you want to keep the user design consistent. So when you know that, okay, swiping left to right does this thing and swiping right to left does this other thing, you shouldn't just change it around.
Think different.
Hey, you know what? Steve Jobs was an asshole.
Because they want to say, like, oh, everything, the only thing that's changed is everything.
Think
Did I
different.
mention that Steve Jobs was an asshole?
Think different. And that's what burns my bacon.
It burns my bacon. If you keep repeating, think different.
Maybe you should think different about it.
So it's that feeling you get when I say that.
Yes.
You know that feeling you get?
The feeling of my bacon being burned.
That feeling.
Yes, that one.
No, but, like, what upsets me is that Apple...
It's funny. Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off 1 second, Jose.
Okay.
I have to say that, I know when I really get to Tony, because his right foot starts moving all over the place. and it's like he's trying to hold in his angst, his rage.
If his
so
right
much
foot can go
that
up his ass right now, it would totally go...
Like, he has nothing. He has no. He's trying
Dude,
to be.
what the fuck, Jose?
He's trying to remain so calm, but he can't. And he's trying to keep every part of his body, every extremity still. And the only thing that he can't control is his right foot, and it was flapping all over the place. You should have seen it.
Because he wants to jump up on top of you.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, yeah.
I mean-
Who doesn't? But you should have seen that foot. It was like a hurricane. When we were talking about Pitbull, that thing was like a cyclone.
You know what, bro?
This episode
Not
has
it.
been very hard on Tony, like,
God, I hate
between
that guy.
hurricanes
Said
and
hard on.
Pitbull. And,
He's hard on Tony.
I hate all of you.
Yeah, you see that it's moving up his legs to his hips now. He's going back and forth like he's Elvis Presley.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
But on a lighter point, I don't get why Apple does this. I mean, they're all about user interface and, like, having a good experience for the user. Didn't somebody think, like, no, this sucks? Nobody's gonna get it. Like, I understand that you sent me an email beforehand, but...
Think different.
Okay, fine. And then the response was, think different.
Tony
Yeah, exactly.
is reaching for a knife right now.
Somebody, like, decided to go talk to, boss, I think, we maybe shouldn't do this. Think different. Okay.
Think different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Think different.
Okay. I will.
So, Dan, we're back to you.
Yeah,
What
man.
burns your bacon?
Originally I was going to say the same thing. It really, really bothered me that they reversed the app closing screen. That just totally fucked me up, and I would wind up closing the wrong apps sometimes because I'm just so used to going to whatever was on the right side, and so that just kind of messed with me. But I'm not going to repeat that. So another thing that I know,
Well, technically you just did though, but
but I'm not going to repeat that as my burns my bacon line, but I just wanted to revisit it. But what actually does bother me a lot, I don't think we've touched on it yet on this show, are those little stick figure bumper stickers that you see in the back of cars on the corner of the rear window.
Fuck
and
your
it's like
stick
the
figure.
little family.
Yeah.
Fuck your stick figure family.
Yeah, those are so fucking stupid. I mean,
You don't like families?
Well, our friend
sure,
Gina.
but why the hell do you need to be like, hey, the person in this car has this many kids and this many fucking dogs and cats? Like, who gives a fuck?
Our friend Gina's bumper sticker actually has a dinosaur eating like one of the stick figures, and it says, "Your stick figure family tasted delicious."
That's awesome. Yeah.
That is the most awesome bumper sticker ever. Like,
Yeah.
windshield
How about the
sticker
fact
ever.
that you have bumper stickers as an adult?
Yeah, like,
And do you have kids? Like, with no kids, yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird that we're going to talk. I just feel a little uncomfortable ragging on kids when the fact that none of us have kids. If any of us had kids,
oh, I'm perfectly comfortable ragging on kids.
do you have a kid, Tony? Want to tell us about?
No.
No,
So,
but we don't mean.
Jr.
There's a very good reason for that.
But we don't mean like the elementary school, like, oh, like you got the honor. I understand, like your kid just like, oh, they feel so proud of themselves, and like, yeah, you have to put the sticker back.
No, you
But
don't.
it
No,
looks
you
like
don't. No,
the
you don't.
people that put the bumper stickers that have nothing to do, like they're self-conscious to go into a store, buy a bumper sticker, stick up their car and mess it up probably, and like,
Yeah, another one that really burns my bacon are the people that put the little fucking Apple sticker that comes with the phone on the back of their car. Like, dude,
well, actually, Dave, do you have an Apple sticker on the back of your car?
I have nothing technically on my
no,
car
but
right now.
like, so what if you have a fucking iPhone or you own an iPod or an iPad? Just because they gave you that sticker in the box doesn't mean you need to slap it on the back of your car to tell everybody that you have fucking bad taste in technology.
So
As I hold
you
my
have an
iPod, my iPhone in my
I've
hand.
gone around. I've purchased a lot of iPhones and iPods in my day. I've gone around sticking those stickers on other people's cars.
That's actually not a bad idea. It reminds me of a time at...
I'm just kidding. I don't actually do
I was
that.
going to say this.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. Let's stick one on Tony's.
What if you put like 5 Apple stickers on the back of a car and it's like, this is my Apple family?
I'm going to do that to your car, Tony.
That just burns my bacon to the core.
Core- and we broke Jose. So on that note, let me ask you guys, what was your favorite beer of the night?
Ooh. You know what? That's a tough one, man. They were like all really different.
Clown shoes.
Yeah, probably the
I have to say clown shoes as well.
Yeah.
Tony?
For me, it's between the Oktoberfest and the clown shoes.
Think different, Tony.
Okay, the Oktoberfest.
Oh.
He just said that because
See, no, but he was different than everyone else.
no, he's just
So-
doing that because I brought clown shoes.
But actually, he just did what you told him
Yeah.
because he was different
Got
than
it.
everyone else.
Got it.
So
That's
then-
good.
See,
Then
got it.
If he's doing what they
No,
told him,
pare
he's not
la
thinking
fiesta.
differently.
Don't stop the party. He's got his fist ready to hit me in the face.
The foot is moving.
Whoa, Dutch foot.
So I want to know what happens like if you're on a vacation on a cruise and you're walking past a club and they're playing Pitbull. Does that foot just give out and you just fall over?
And everybody's like clapping, like, yeah, you must really love Pitbull. Look at him go down with his foot.
I just keep walking.
I'll find out. Cool. So as always, guys, remember you can always find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Beer Bros BS. Find all our rankings of what we think of these beers on Untapped at Beer Bros BS. Email any questions, ideas for the show, beerbrosbs@gmail.com. You can find the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes for Tony, and
Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict. You got it. And everything we have is on our website, beerbrosbs.com. Thanks for listening. I'm Dave, the Big Librarian. You can also find me contributing on toughgnarl.com. And also, just so you guys know, no episode next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Jose?
Hey, everybody. I am Dan. Thank you for listening.
And I'm Tony. Bye-bye.
All right, good night, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.